Hello YouTube and hello my brothers and sisters out there. I've been wanting to do a League of Legends game for a while, but I haven't really found any games really worth watching. And this one isn't much different, but I figured this would give some of the aspiring junglers out there a chance to see pretty much the basics of jungling. I'm not the best jungler ever. I have some clues to who that might be, but I'm not certain, so I'm not gonna name names. But anyway, for new junglers and for people who like to jungle but haven't really found a good pace, this will definitely be a worthwhile thing to watch. At least I see it as something that might be. We're going to do this entire game from my perspective. Well, not from my perspective actually, because you're moving my game around, my screen around constantly.
Welcome to
Anyway,
Summoner's
this
Rift.
game is Udyr. And you're going to start off with cloth armor and 5 pots, which is standard for a lot of the current junglers out there. Of course, there are some that differ, but most of them use cloth armor and 5 pots, simply because you take less damage and you can heal up throughout the entire jungle on the first round and maybe even some of the second. And you see me here BMing someone, and I don't like people to tell me how to do things that I already know how to
30
do, so I
seconds
react
until
very
minions
roughly.
spawn.
But I add smiley faces to show that it's not all rough. There's some sense of friendliness in what I'm saying, although I'm harsh. But I do rage when I play online, and especially when I play ranked. I do rage, and that is one of the issues I have with playing team-based games. That is that I hate having to carry people, and even more so I hate when people drag me down. Gonna turn down the volume a bit. Hopefully, it will be okay. Anyway, yeah. So I got rage issues, and I'm a nerd rager, and a lot of people think that's bad, and I can see why, because it is bad. But it's something that I do, and it helps me keep calm and focus better. I don't sit in front of my computer and get real angry and such. I just blow off steam every once in a while, and that helps me. And if you find that offensive, or if that really annoys you, then you shouldn't watch anymore, because that's really what's going to be happening here. Anyway, when you do Udyr jungle, if you have your full rune page, feel free to start with the wolves if you have a leash, and even if you don't, Udyr in Phoenix stance can easily clear up the wolves before going down to the leashed blue. A leash is when someone else pulls and drags the mob around in order for it not to hit you, but instead go for them, so that you get some free damage in before you actually have to tank it yourself. But as you can see, Udyr already really fast in the jungle, clearing Wraith Camp now, and then I'm gonna go up to clear the golems. Now I can do red at this point, but I want to wait for my smite, because smite is a huge factor in jungling, because not only does it do a fuck ton of damage, but it also gives you gold every single time you use it. So you want to use it as often as possible. When it's off cooldown, you want to use it unless you're saving it for something. And that's one of the things that's really important. You do need the mastery page in order to jungle. You need that smite, because the little that it gives you, it helps insanely much during the later stages of the game. Now, as soon as you've cleared your jungle, you might as well go gank, and I'm going to try to gank top, although that's a really harsh lane to gank. But because it's Blitzcrank, he has the knock up and the speed, so he's really hard to gank. But even if I can't get the gank, I can push him away from the experience, and that's a good thing to be able to do. Now we do get the flash off him, so he's open to ganks later, and he's open for Tryndamere to put some more pressure on himself, because as soon as he can't flash away, Tryndamere can just get in there and do some damage. And then if he gets overpowered by Blitzcrank, he can run away himself, but Blitzcrank, if he gets in trouble, he can't run away. So that's really useful. Anyway, after clearing the jungle and attempting a gank, we go back to shop, and on Udyr I like to buy the boots. Depending obviously on if I get a successful gank and continue ganking, or if I just get a failed gank, go home and start over with the jungle. But boots are really nice with Udyr. His bear stance already gives you increased movement speed, and with the added boots, you're really fast. You're really hard to avoid when you come into a lane to gank. And one of the things you want to do when jungling is to keep people informed of what you're doing. So I let people know I'm coming bottom to gank, so they shouldn't push the lane. If they push the lane, it's almost impossible to gank because you have to tower dive, and that's really not a situation you want to be in here. So as you can see, I'm coming down here. My team is pretty even in health and they're really low, and now I'm coming in behind, and my team backs off, and I ping him, and I go in, and my team stays up there. So if you're not the ganker, if you're in the lane and a ganker tells you he's coming bot, you want to keep an eye on things, because when a jungler takes his time out of his jungle route to come gank, it's often because he wants some extra cash, or wants to give you some extra cash, and extra time to get creep score. And so many games have won an early creep score, because if you get 30-40 creeps ahead of the AD carry you're against, then you can push them. You can push them in lane. One creep is about 25 gold. It varies a little bit, but that's pretty average. So 40 creeps is 250. It's 1,000 gold. Sorry, my math in the head is really bad. So if that's wrong, might be. I'm sorry. You can calculate that on your own, but I think it's about 1,000 gold. That's a big difference. I mean, that's the axe, whatever that axe is that gives attack damage for. That is used for Last Whisper and Infinity's Edge. That axe is 1,000 gold, and that's a huge bonus you're gonna have over your opponents, or 2 Doran's blades. So ganking lanes and getting people out of lanes, your enemies out of lanes, can really help your team. Now, as we see, I come up for a gank again on Blitzcrank, and he doesn't have flash this time, but he does have the knock up and the speed, which I mentioned earlier. That makes him really hard to gank in lane, unless you're going to dive him, where then he's gankable. But anyway, clearing the jungle, trying the gank, going back home to shop. And at this point, I want to build a little bit of jungle speed, because I can already clear jungle fast. But if I can get the what's it called, the lantern early, I can start doing dragons solo, because Udyr is really strong. He's one of the strongest junglers because of the Phoenix stance, and as well in the Tiger stance. He's a really strong jungler. Now, yeah, I rage a little bit. I don't really rage, but I make an ellipsis. You can look that up on dictionary, and that's obviously because I was watching him and he made a critical error, definitely a critical error there, in just letting Anivia kill him. And if your lane loses, that means that lane can defeat other lanes as well when it comes to team fights, and that's really bad. So you want to at least stay even with your lane. You do not have to sacrifice yourself in order to get ahead. Just make sure you're even, because then if all lanes are even, it comes down to skill or team setup. And sometimes that happens, and if you're all even, that gives your team a bigger chance of winning. If you're ahead, you win. If you're behind, there's a big chance you lose, and that's why you want to just stay even. You don't have to sacrifice yourself in lane in order to kill your opponent. Just make sure you got the CS, don't overextend, and here I rate a little bit more, because as you all saw, Kassadin, while I was waiting for him to kill it, because I got the mattress races, I cannot hit it because it will do extra damage, and my Phoenix stance will do extra damage, and that might kill it, and I wanted him to have the buff, but he was auto hitting it all the way through. And he's getting blue, he's gonna get a massive mana regen bonus. So why would he save? And then he says, I didn't want to kill creep. Yeah, bollocks. Anyway, enough rating about him. Just clearing the jungle, you always want to stay on top of your buffs in the jungle, the red and the blue buff. You want to have them down at all times so that your opposing jungler or the opposing team cannot come into your jungle and take them. So always make sure that whenever the buffs spawn, you want to get in there and take them as soon as possible. Because red buff is really strong, it's true damage, and it slows on attack. So if you're faced with someone who has the red buff, you want to think twice before engaging them if you're about on even ground. Because red buff is a huge buff. It does, I think, what do we see there? Either 43 or 25 damage bonus, plus it slows so you can't run away. And that's really harsh. But anyway, here is the Tryndamere doing some random shit, and Xin Xiao running past the dragon. Yeah, just random stuff like that. You want to keep an eye on the map at all times. As you can see here, Alistar really good on the ward there. Sadly, it's not placed here. You want to have one placed around here so you can see if the jungler comes from here or from up here. And then you want to obviously keep an eye on the map so that you can actually see him come from either direction. A jungler can also gank up lane. If he knows it's watered in the river, he can gank up lane, come in here while the minion wave is pushed. As you can see, we don't have any vision down here, so he can actually move up here and stand here and wait for the wave to be pushed. Anyway, back to me. Now, Xin Xiao did not go for the dragon, and I got my lantern now, so I want to start thinking about doing dragon, but I want to make sure that we have the time to do dragon. Dragon takes time, and either you do dragon or you force a fight at dragon, because dragon is 190 gold, I think. Yeah, I think it's 190 gold global to your entire team, regardless of them being there or not, and that's a pretty big team advantage you get from that. So you wanna definitely keep in mind that dragon should be yours at all times, but do not overextend. If you cannot win the team fight at dragon, do not take it. Because if they get dragon and your entire team, that means you're even further behind, and that's not worth it. If you can't take the team fight, if your team is not present, don't take the fight. It's simply a dumb move. Now I asked for a CV on their blue here, but my Alistar really wasn't on top of the clairvoyance, but he did really great otherwise. Well, average-ish. So I'll let that slip. But anyway, Kassadin comes in to help me, so I go in. I see Xin Xiao take off, so I quickly decide I'll just take the buff, get out of there, because that's a buff less for him. That means his jungling speed will be decreased, his gank strength is decreased. So right now we're way ahead. I mean, I can gank all lanes, I can farm my jungle, I can do all sorts of good stuff, and their jungler has to sit in the jungle now. His ganking ability is extremely diminished from not getting that blue. Even better if I got the red, because he's a melee ganker. He's a physical attack. But anyway, I go in here because I thought that Tryndamere would use that chicken stuff, but he doesn't. But then I decide, all right, we gotta get this guy down, because simply that's gonna give Tryndamere a huge lead in lane. He can get all the free CS and XP he wants while Blitzcrank is at base. Now I do believe something happens down here. I'm not quite sure though. Cockmo definitely focusing the wrong target at start there. That's really, you always want to push the other AD carry. Unless the support is a lot weaker, you want to push the AD carry, because if you get the AD carry out of lane, that means you get a head start. You get more CS, you get more money, you get more experience. So you're ahead, and that makes you stronger the next time she comes. But as you can see here, he ganked out of the bush and totally took Cockmo off guard, but sadly, well, not sadly for us, but sadly for them, Caitlyn and Nidalee was not there to support it. So in that case, it wasn't a successful gank, but that's often the case when playing in ELO hell. People simply do not have the brain capacity to keep an eye on everything that's going on the map, and that's sad, but it's true. Now, Xin Xiao here going into my jungle, and I ping him instantly. As soon, Alistar, really good CV from Alistar there. I have to give that to him. That was fucking splendid. But I ping him. I want to make sure that everyone knows that he's there, so we can stop him from taking any more than my wolves. And there, Alistar coming down while he's very, very slowly killing my blue. I'm really not sure why he tried to take the blue. When he's that slow, he shouldn't take the chance. As we can see here, not only did we get our blue, but we also got a kill. And that means we're that much further ahead. So you want to take, there's a certain risk and reward, and that wasn't worth it for him. He knew we spotted him with the CV, so he should have just left. There's no point in just hanging around hoping that, well, I might be able to get this golem down. That's never going to happen. Just risk reward. If it is not worth it, don't take it. Simple as that. Now, I'm trying to gank bot lane here again, and my team seemed to be a lot more in here, but Alistar goes down for some reason. Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, Cockmo gets killed as well, but here, stun the Caitlyn, get the Cockmo bomb on, and then fail. Get slowed by by the Nidalee trap, I suppose that was, and then it's just downhill from there. So I figured Caitlyn is gonna be going this way, and she's definitely gonna be crossing through here. And I find her in the bush. Wonderful, wonderful. So yeah, sometimes you're just that lucky. I was going to try to see if I could catch her on this part, but she actually went down here, which for me is just absolutely spectacular. And there, Xin Zhao comes in really bad positioning, and gets taken down as well. So at this point in the game, we're getting further and further ahead. And Udyr is one of the junglers you do not want to feed, because Udyr gets super tanky, and he's at the same time he still does real nice damage. Kassadin here picking up the Nidalee kill. She was coming up for no reason. And that's the thing with ELO Hell. You gotta think outside the box, because people in ELO Hell don't do like they're supposed to do. They do what they're not supposed to do, and that's kind of why it's called ELO Hell, because no one plays right, everyone plays wrong. And you have to understand that, at least for the time that you're in ELO Hell. You have to think that what's wrong to do here, and then expect them to do that. For some reason I clicked my mouse. I got all in the moment, and yeah, go over here. But anyway, red buff spawned, we take red buff. And now, really late, but I want to start going for dragon now. We got the leading kills, and in I don't know if I have the leads here. We got the leading kills, and our lanes are pretty decent right now. I mean, Tryndamere is looking good in top. Kassadin is looking pretty decent in middle. He's picked up a few kills. I think he's picked up a few kills. Can I see that? Yeah, I can. He's picked up a few kills and an assist, so he's looking pretty strong. Bottom not so strong, but I can carry the bottom. I can carry the bottom, no problem, as long as my top and middle lane don't fail epically. So I want to start thinking about doing dragon at this point, because we can take the fight and we can win the fight, no problem. And Tryndamere here pushing Blitzcrank a good amount in the top, so it's starting to near a point where we can take dragon and they can't really respond in force. They're gonna have people out of place. Not really sure what my aim is there. I'm gonna go do Baron solo. Yeah, go for dragon, baby. But yeah, Blitzcrank is forced to stay at his turret, or else Tryndamere kills it at this point in the game. So he can't really come and respond to the dragon. Tryndamere, however, can come down and help as much as he wants, because he's not forced to defend. The same in bottom here. Caitlyn is apparently back at base, and Alistar is pushing real hard on Nidalee. Sorry. So there as well, we have a huge advantage. So we have the possibility now. They CV me here and come for the attack. Now I back off from dragon. The debuff is something that I would rather not have. And there we go, Tryndamere teleporting in there on the ward. Very nicely placed at the dragon, and there we pick up the Caitlyn. And now we want to go back and do Baron. Now I see the turret. I know Tryndamere can go start Baron on his own. He doesn't need our support, so he can go start Baron solo, dragon solo, while we just kill the tower and then come assist him. And as you see here, we kill the tower, push the minion wave, go help Tryndamere. And as I said, see, Blitzcrank is still top, trying to push that lane back. Now he's got a pretty decent minion wave, and he can probably push a real good amount of damage on the turret, but the top turret is worth less than the dragon. Generally, a middle turret is considered worth more than a dragon, because it gives a lot of control that the enemy has vision pushed back beyond here. The vision is going to be here instead of in these areas, and that's really bad, because people can just walk in and out of your zone, of your jungle, and gank your stuff. Anyway, my team here going for another fail, and I got an epic moment coming up here. So stay tuned for epicness. Anyway, I'm going in there. I want to gank. I want to stun Caitlyn, but I do not get the chance, so I switch on what's his name, Blitzcrank, and then Cockmore. For some reason, unknown to me, he decides to fight them. Well, not fight them, but get pulled back in. Now Blitzcrank gets away here. I don't want to chase Blitzcrank past the tower. I want to stay tanky, and I am Udyr, so I can definitely tank. Now I pick them both up and get away with my life, baby. Yeah, Salwyn style. That's how we do here at Salwyn Gaming, baby. You, me, everybody here at Salwyn Gaming are awesome players of every game. We own them all. Anyway, yeah. So at this point, the game is over. Bottom lane is pushed to the second tower. Top lane is pushed to the second tower. Middle lane, Kassadin. But jungle, I'm super far ahead, and somebody's probably AFK. I mean, since Xiao, he's so far behind. He's probably been AFKing. No, he's just been sitting there bitching in chat. Actually, if we can scroll up here. Yeah, he's just been bitching in chat for like forever, like a true noob. So yeah, there's that. So we've definitely won at this point. So I just want to go back to my jungle, get some more cash, get some more items, and just keep increasing on that lead. Whoa, I can zoom out far. Keep increasing on that lead. Whenever you're ahead, get further ahead. Someone smart said that, and I'm gonna use that quote. Yeah, baby. Anyway, really nearing the game's conclusion here. They most likely found out, oh shit, we're screwed, so they gave up the game. Kassadin here, as always, proving to be rather weird, but I gave it a good shot. He got Nidalee rather low, but yeah, that wasn't so clever. But yeah, well, he's got backup coming in here. Tryndamere is able to move away from top because the top turret is down. And Cockmore could move, but he has Alistar in middle, so he's just getting a lot of XP and a lot of gold solo bottom. And I'm coming in here because I know I can tank this. I can tank a huge amount of damage at this point in the game. So I just want to get in there, start making some kills happen for my team. There we go. Yeah, well, okay, maybe not for my team, maybe for myself. I'm a little bit kill horny, but yeah. I know what I'm doing, so I want to get the kills. I want to get fed, so I can carry. I don't want to rely on other people to carry, because that happens. Tryndamere goes in and... yeah, what the fuck? Anyway, going back to get my my nice... the armor that reflects damage, whatever. Thornmail. Going back to get Thornmail because Caitlyn is going to be useless at that point. It's not really the best item against this team. I mean, it's only Shen Xiao and Caitlyn that do physical damage. It's Blitzcrank and Nivea are both spell damage. But at this point I'm so tanking, so I can just browse. I mean, I can take whatever I want, whenever I want. They cannot kill me. Unless it's 1 versus 2 from 4 or 3, whatever. So I can pretty much choose as I like, and I want to go with the armor first, and then build something on top of that. But at this point, I do believe the other team, what's it called, surrenders after I clear this top lane. So yeah. Anyway, if you enjoyed the video, please leave it a like, maybe even favorite it, and subscribe to the channel for more. And if you want to see me do a character or a class, a role, please let me know in the comments, and I'll definitely look into that. I mainly play AD carry because that's my favorite position. I love to just fucking face roll over those noobs in the bottom, and yeah, I can do anything. I can do Gragas mid, that's my main AP, and I can do Nasus, Renekton, Irelia top. I can do everything, so just let me know, what do you want to see? Remember to subscribe to the channel, remember to like and favorite the video. Either or, you don't have to favorite if it's not your favorite, but it makes me feel good if you do. So anyway, until next time guys, have a good day.